Hi, it's Mitch from Mobile Edge, and today I'm going to talk to you about transponder keys and how they relate to a remote car starter installation. A transponder key is a key that has a small RF transmitter built into the plastic portion of it. The purpose of that transmitter is to send a very low-level signal to a receiver located in or near your ignition switch during the starting sequence. When you stick the key in the ignition switch and turn it, in addition to all the electrical stuff that's happening in the background, there's a small RF signal that gets sent to that receiver that says, hey, this is the right key, you can go ahead and let the car start now. Well, when we install a remote car starter, when you start your car, the key is not in the car. So the transponder bypass would prevent the car from being started just by the very nature of what it's designed to do, to prevent the car from being started unless the key's present. So what we have to do when we install your remote starter is to install an additional device called a transponder bypass module. And it does just what it sounds like. It bypasses the transponder security feature of your vehicle during remote starting only. And that's a really important distinction. It only is bypassing that when you tell it to. When you tell it to start the car for a brief period of time, it's going to bypass that security measure so that the car can indeed start. It doesn't eliminate it. If it's installed properly, it does not eliminate that security feature any other time. You still have all of the security that your transponder key provides to you. Now, what we run into a lot is customers that don't know that they have a transponder key for their car. A lot of times customers will come in, especially around the holidays, looking for a gift for somebody, and a remote starter for a son or daughter or wife or whatever, and they don't have the car with them. So now we have to rely on what they tell us. And when we ask them, do you have a transponder key on that vehicle? More often than not, either they say no or they say they don't know. Now, truth is, most new vehicles have transponder keys of some sort. There's a few exceptions to that, but if the car was made in the last few years, it most definitely has a transponder key. Again, a couple of exceptions exist. Transponder keys have been in existence since the late 90s. It started out, I believe, with Ford, and then it carried over to many other vehicles. But people just don't know that they have it. So we'll ask that question, they'll tell us they don't know, and that has a big impact on the cost and the amount of time necessary to install a remote starter. So I'm going to show you a little trick to determine whether or not you have a transponder key for sure. Now, important to understand that this does not necessarily rule out that you do not have a transponder key, but if the test is successful, we can say with 100% certainty that you do indeed have a transponder key. So here I have a transponder key for a Subaru that we're working on in the install bay right now. I'm going to take you out and I'm going to show you this trick. But essentially what it involves is a piece of tin foil, and you take a foot-by-foot square sheet of tin foil and double it over on itself a couple of times until you end up with a 4, 5, 6 layer thick piece of tin foil. You poke a hole in the center of it, you stick the key in the middle of it, and then you wrap the plastic part real tightly with the tin foil. And what that essentially does is it stops the RF signal from exiting the key. So now it's going to fool the car into believing that it's a fake key, a copied key, I should say, that is present. So let's go out to this car and I'll do the test and I'll show you exactly how to do this and what to expect to see in either case. Again, if the car fails to start, then we know for sure that this is a transponder key. If the car still does start, well, you still might have a transponder key. You've lessened the odds of it, but you still might. So let's go take a look. Okay, here we are with a Subaru that's in our bay right now to get a remote car starter installed. It's all prepped up, ready for the installation to start. So we'll just hop in here quick and pop the key into the ignition, and car starts right up, just as you'd expect. But now what we're going to do is we're going to take a piece of tin foil and we're going to wrap the key very tightly with that tin foil. And make sure that we cover up all the plastic as best as we can. Wrap it real tight. Then we put the key all wrapped up in the ignition switch and turn it, and nothing happens. Car doesn't start, car doesn't turn over. And what we've basically done now is proven that this vehicle does indeed have a transponder key. There is a small chip that's located inside of this key that needs to be present in order for the car to start. Well, I hope this video helped to better explain transponder keys and how they relate to a remote car starter installation. Keep in mind there are some exceptions to this. For example, the pass lock system from GM, that's not a transponder by the definition that we've laid out, but it still does require a transponder bypass module. So just keep in mind there are some exceptions, but for the most part, this should give you a really good basis of understanding for transponder keys and how they relate to a remote starter. So I welcome your comments. I hope that you were able to learn something, and we'll see you again next time. It's Mitch from Mobile Edge signing out. Thanks.